Welcome, dream chasers and visionaries. Today, we're diving into a game-changing secret one that can transform how you pursue your ambitions, unlock success, and live a life of purpose. Get ready to discover the 7 essential keys to accelerate your journey toward triumph. 1. The art of letting go, mastering detachment the Stoic way. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like the harder you chase your goals, the more they seem to slip through your fingers? You put in the work, you show up every day. You grind harder than anyone you know, yet the results still feel distant, almost like they're teasing you. If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not doing it wrong. You're just doing it the hard way. You see, the ancient Stoics, especially wise minds like Epictetus and Seneca, understood a paradox most of us miss. Sometimes, the way to gain something is to stop grasping at it. Today, we're diving deep into what they called the art of detachment, a powerful shift in mindset that's not about giving up, but about letting go of the need to control. So buckle up. This is about to get real. The butterfly effect. Why you need to loosen your grip. Picture this. A child is chasing a butterfly through a field. Every time they reach out, the butterfly flutters away. But the moment the child stops, breathes, and just stands still, the butterfly floats gently down and lands on their shoulder. That's the essence of detachment. When we chase, we create resistance. We tighten our grip, and in doing so, we push what we want further away. But when we let go, when we allow ourselves to relax into the moment, the very thing we were chasing often comes to us, effortlessly. Now don't get me wrong. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring or that you give up on your goals. It means you shift how you pursue them. Lesson 1. Do your best. And detach. This is where the Stoic brilliance shines through. The lesson is simple, but it cuts deep. Do your best, and then let go. You still strive. You still act with purpose. You still show up, but you release the obsession with how it turns out. Because once you've done your part, the rest isn't up to you. It's up to the world, fate, or the natural flow of life. Epictetus said it best. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Apply that to life. We need to listen more to what the world is showing us. Instead of forcing our will, we align with what's unfolding. Real talk. What detachment looks like in real life. Let's say you've just nailed an interview for your dream job. Your resume is solid. You hit every answer. The vibe was great. Now you're waiting to hear back. In moments like this, it's easy to fall into obsessive thoughts. Did I say the right thing? What if they go with someone else? Maybe I should send another follow-up email. But here's the truth. Those thoughts don't help. They only increase your stress and make you feel more powerless. Stoic approach says, you already did your best. Now step back and trust the outcome. The same goes for relationships, or creative work, or financial goals. Pour your energy into the process, and once you've given it your all, release the outcome. Let life do its part. Detachment isn't apathy, it's power here. That's where most people get it twisted. Detachment isn't apathy, it's not giving up. It's not whatever happens, happens. Detachment is focused intention without emotional dependency. You still want the outcome. You still care. But you're not ruled by the outcome. You're free from the chains of, it has to happen this way. That freedom? That's power, because when you're no longer desperate for things to go a certain way, you stop acting from fear and start acting from purpose. Letting go equals opening up. When you detach from the outcome, you actually open yourself up to something even better than what you originally imagined. Why? Because the universe, or life, or whatever force you believe in, often has a bigger plan than our tunnel vision allows us to see. Michael Singer, a modern spiritual teacher, put it beautifully. The moment you stop trying to control everything is the moment you can finally appreciate everything. Let that sink in, training your detachment muscle. How to actually let go. So, how do you practice this art of detachment without turning into a monk overnight? Here are a few real-world tips to get you started. 1. Focus on the process, not the prize. Don't obsess over the outcome. Pay attention to the daily habits, rituals, and actions that move you forward. If you stay consistent with the process, the results take care of themselves. 2. Accept what you can't control. There are only two things fully within your control: your actions and your attitude. Everything else, timing, results, other people, is out of your hands. Let them be. 3. Trust the bigger picture. Life has a funny way of redirecting us to something better than we planned. Trust that every no could be leading to a yes you didn't even know you needed. 4. Cultivate gratitude. Be grateful for what's here now, not just what's coming. When you live in gratitude, you create the emotional vibration that attracts more of what you want, without the stress. 5. Surrender the timeline. Stop micromanaging when things should happen. Just because it hasn't happened yet, doesn't mean it won't. Let the timing unfold naturally. The freedom of detachment. Here's the truth no one tells you. When you let go, you don't lose power, you gain it. You gain clarity, calm, presence. You stop being a prisoner of outcomes and start living from intention. You become someone who doesn't chase, but attracts. Who doesn't cling, but flows. Who isn't obsessed, but aligned. And that shift? That's where the magic happens. So here's your challenge this week. Take one goal you've been gripping tightly. Maybe it's a promotion, a relationship, a creative project. And instead of pushing harder, let go just a little. Trust that what's meant for you will find you, and that by showing up fully and releasing control, you're giving it the best possible chance to do just that. Welcome to the Stoic art of effortless manifestation. Welcome to living lighter and freer. Now go out there, do your best, and then let it go. 2. Attract what you want. The Stoic law of vibration and alignment. Alright, my fellow manifestors, if part 1 showed us the power of letting go, part 2 is where we talk about what happens after we let go. We're diving into something ancient in wisdom but modern in language, what people now call the law of attraction. But here's the twist. We're going to explore it through the Stoic lens. Less fluff, more depth, no wishful thinking. Just energetic alignment backed by ancient philosophy and modern science. Let's go. The Stoic connection, aligning with nature's flow. Now, the phrase law of attraction might sound a bit new age-y, but the core concept is deeply Stoic. The Stoics believed the universe was structured, rational, and harmonious, a cosmic order they called logos. To live well, they taught, is to live in alignment with that natural order. That's what they meant by living according to nature. In today's terms, it means your thoughts, your energy, and your actions should move in sync with the life you want to create. You become what you believe. Oprah Winfrey once said, "You don't become what you want, you become what you believe." That's not just motivational fluff, it's philosophical gold. Because if you're constantly vibrating in the energy of lack, even if you want abundance, all you're radiating is neediness, scarcity, and stress. But when you begin to feel as though what you want is already yours, when you embody the peace, the confidence, the worthiness that comes with already having it, your energy shifts, and energy attracts energy. Real life attraction. From dream jobs to deep love, let's bring this down to earth. Say you want your dream job. You've done the groundwork, resume, applications, networking. But here's where most people mess up. They only focus on the outer actions and neglect the inner alignment. Instead, imagine this. You wake up each day already feeling how you would feel in that job. Confident, valued, inspired. You walk and talk like someone who belongs in that role. You radiate the energy of fulfillment and impact. Suddenly, people notice. Opportunities arise. The interviews go smoother. Why? Because the energy preceded the experience. You became the match before the manifestation. The same applies to love. You want a deep, loyal, passionate relationship? First, embody that love within yourself. Treat yourself with the same kindness, patience, and fire you wish to receive. When you vibrate at the frequency of love, people who resonate with that energy will naturally gravitate toward you. The Stoic principle. Attraction through alignment. Now, the Stoics weren't out here making vision boards or chanting affirmations. But they absolutely believed in the power of mental discipline and internal congruence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." What you dwell on becomes your reality. Not through magic, but through mindset. And mindset is the first domino in the chain reaction of action, energy, and ultimately, outcome. The science behind the vibe. Why this actually works, let's zoom into science for a second, because this isn't just philosophy anymore. It's being explored in neuroscience and quantum theory. Here's how. 1. Quantum physics at the subatomic level. Everything is energy. Atoms are not solid, they're vibrational packets. Your thoughts and emotions emit energetic frequencies, and these can influence the energetic field around you. 2. Neuroplasticity. Your brain literally rewires itself based on repeated thoughts and feelings. When you visualize success, your brain begins to behave as if that success is already happening. The result? You notice more opportunities. You take more aligned actions. You act with more confidence. And those actions change your outcomes. 3. The reticular activating system, RAS. This part of your brain filters information based on what you focus on. If you're always looking for reasons you'll fail, you'll find them. But if you train your mind to see signs of success, your brain will start picking them up, even in places you didn't expect. The shift from chasing to attracting. Here's the real transformation. Most people operate from a mindset of chasing. I don't have this yet, so I must pursue it. But Stoicism, combined with energetic alignment, teaches us to shift into a mindset of magnetism. I already feel the joy, the strength, the clarity of what I desire. It's only a matter of time before it arrives. Let's break down how. To make that shift happen, 7 practical steps to attract what you want. 1. Get clear on what you truly want. Vague desires bring vague results. Write down exactly what you want in your career, relationships, health, finances. Be specific. Clarity is magnetic. 2. Visualize it daily. Spend a few quiet minutes every day seeing, hearing, and feeling your desired outcome. Not from a place of lack, but from presence. Feel the confidence, joy, and peace it brings. 3. Use affirmations. Speak your reality into existence, not as a fantasy, but as an identity. I am worthy of love. I thrive in my purpose. I create value effortlessly. Say them like you mean it. 4. Feel it in advance. This is the big one. Cultivate the emotional state now that you imagine you'll feel then. Want freedom? Start feeling free. Want abundance? Cultivate gratitude for what you already have. 5. Take inspired action. This isn't just about sitting around and vibing. The Stoics were all about action. But action from alignment, not from desperation. Do what feels purposeful, intentional, and energizing. 6. Release the outcome, just like we talked about in part 1. detach from how or when it shows up. That's not your job. Your job is to align. The universe handles the rest. 7. Celebrate every win, no matter how small. Every time something good flows into your life, appreciate it. Joy and gratitude are emotional rocket fuel. The more you feel them, the more you attract what amplifies them. You are not separate from what you want. Let this hit you for a second. You are not separate from your desires. You and the life you want are on the same team. It's not out there, somewhere far away. It's here, within you, waiting for you to align with it. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Let's stop wasting time doubting ourselves. Start becoming the energetic match to the life you know you're meant for. So, here's your call to action. This week, choose one thing you truly want, something that lights you up. Visualize it. Feel it. Speak it. Align with it. And then, let it go. Let it come to you, because what you're seeking is also seeking you. 3. Detach to reclaim power, the Stoic practice of non-attachment. So you've aligned, you've visualized. You're becoming the version of yourself that already has what you want. But now comes the hardest and most crucial part. Letting go, not out of apathy, but out of power, out of trust, out of understanding that attachment breeds suffering. And that's exactly what the Stoics mastered better than anyone else. Let's go deeper. Why clinging repels the very thing you want. Here's a truth no one tells you. The tighter you grip something, the more it slips away. Think about it. You want success so bad that you obsess over it. You check your progress every hour. You compare yourself to others. You panic when results don't show up fast enough. That energy, it's desperate. And desperation repels what you're trying to attract. The Stoics would say, you suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca, because your attachment to the outcome causes stress, anxiety, and fear, not the actual outcome itself. Non-attachment isn't about indifference. It's about freedom. What is non-attachment? Really? Let's get clear. Non-attachment is not the same as detachment. Detachment is emotional numbness. Non-attachment is emotional clarity. You still care, but you're not dependent. You still take action, but you're not controlled by the result. Non-attachment says, I'd love for this to happen. I'm aligned with it. I'm open to it, but I'll be okay either way. That's real freedom. And ironically, that's what makes things flow into your life more easily, because your energy is clean. The Stoic origin of letting go in Stoicism. This practice is rooted in one core idea: dichotomy of control. Epictetus, the former slave turned philosopher, broke it down beautifully. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. What's up to us? Our thoughts, our actions, our intentions, our character. What's not up to us? Outcomes, other people's behavior, timing, external events. When you cling to what's outside your control, you suffer. When you focus only on what's within, you regain your peace. That's the Stoic way. And that's how you stay in flow, even in chaos. Modern example. Letting go without giving up. Let's talk real life. Say you're building your dream business. You've put in the hours. You've invested your savings. You're passionate. You want it to succeed. Of course you do. But here's where most people mess up. They start gripping too tightly. They obsess over metrics. They panic when engagement drops. They stress when revenue fluctuates. They get emotionally hijacked because their identity is now attached to the results. A Stoic approach would be, I've done everything I can, with excellence and intention. I show up fully, every day. But the results? They are not me. They do not define me. I release them. This doesn't mean you stop working. It means you stop suffering. And when suffering leaves, clarity and momentum return. The paradox of release. Why letting go works. Here's what's wild. The moment you truly let go of needing something is often the moment it finally arrives. Why? Because your energy has shifted. You're no longer saying, I need this to feel worthy. You're now saying, I already feel whole. This would be a beautiful bonus. That shift is magnetic. That's the kind of energy the universe responds to. 5 Stoic tools to practice non-attachment. Let's make it real. If you want to embody Stoic non-attachment in daily life, use these 5 tools. 1. Daily reflection. What's in my control? At the end of each day, ask, did I focus today on what I can control, or did I waste energy on what I can't? Journal it. Be honest. This awareness alone creates emotional freedom. 2. The view from above. Stoic visualization. Imagine yourself rising above your life like Marcus Aurelius often did. From space, your worries shrink. The outcome you're clinging to? A speck. See how small it is in the grand scheme. Then breathe. And let go. 3. Negative visualization. Premeditatio malorum. Imagine the worst-case scenario. Feel it without flinching. Now ask, would I still survive? Would life still go on? Most times the answer is yes. And that dissolves fear. 4. Set intentions, not expectations. Say, I intend to create something powerful today. Instead of, I expect this post to go viral today. Intentions keep you focused. Expectations keep you trapped. 5. Practice voluntary discomfort. Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Try going a day without your phone. Skip a meal. Sleep without a pillow. These tiny practices train your brain to let go, to need less, to fear less. A word on love and non-attachment. This one's hard, but important. When it comes to love, non-attachment feels impossible. We want guarantees. We want forever. We want control, but love is not control. Love is showing up fully. Without needing someone else to complete you. As the Stoics would say, love them as if they were immortal, not a possession. Non-attachment in love doesn't make your heart colder. It makes your love cleaner. Because when you stop clinging, you start choosing from freedom, not fear. When you let go, you step into your true power. Let this settle in. You can still want deeply. You can still act passionately. You can still hope beautifully, but you don't cling. You don't make your peace depend on the outcome. You don't tie your worth to what happens next. You don't beg life to give you what you're already becoming. Instead, you trust. You flow. You embody. You show up. You release. You allow. And somehow, it all arrives, not on your timeline, but on life's timeline. So here's your takeaway for part 3. Stop gripping. Start trusting. Focus on the input. Let go of the outcome. Because what's meant for you will never miss you, and what misses you was never meant to stay. 4. The inner fortress. Why stillness is the Stoic superpower. We live in a world addicted to noise. Scroll, click, react, repeat. There's always something new pulling your attention, and your emotions, and your peace. But the Stoics? They built something no one could touch. Stillness. Not passivity, not laziness, but a calm inner command center, a fortress of the mind. And in a world of chaos, stillness isn't weakness. It's your greatest strength. Let's break it down. Stillness is not the absence of action. It's the presence of control. Most people confuse movement with progress. They rush, they multitask. They panic when they're not doing something every second. But here's the hard truth. Frantic action is often just avoidance in disguise. Avoiding pain, avoiding silence, avoiding the truth of your own mind, stillness. On the other hand, is a power move. It says, I don't need to react. I choose to respond. I'm not controlled by urgency. I create clarity first. I move when it's wise, not just when I'm triggered. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who mastered stillness. Imagine being the ruler of the most powerful empire in the world, surrounded by war, politics, betrayal, illness, and death. And yet, Marcus Aurelius wrote this in his Meditations. Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul. Retreat to consult your own soul, especially when you need to recover your calm. Marcus wasn't escaping the world. He was commanding it from the inside out. His strength didn't come from barking orders. It came from mastering the storm within. Why stillness is so rare today? Let's be honest. In modern life, stillness feels almost illegal. We feel guilty for slowing down, anxious when we're not productive, empty when we're not stimulated. But why? Because we've been conditioned to equate our worth with our output. We don't know who we are without constant motion. So we fill the silence with noise, tasks, distractions. The Stoics knew better. They taught that stillness is where the truth lives. If you can sit with yourself, quietly, honestly, fully, you've already won a battle most people never even fight. The myth of urgency. You don't have to chase everything. One of the greatest lies you've been sold is that you must react immediately, that every email is urgent, every trend must be followed, every opportunity must be seized now. But here's a Stoic correction. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Marcus Aurelius' stillness gives you space. Space to discern, to choose, to respond with wisdom. World screams, hurry. Stillness whispers, wait. And in that pause lies your power. Modern example. The CEO who stopped reacting. Take this story of a modern CEO. She ran a high-pressure startup. 80-hour weeks. Non-stop Slack messages. Constant investor pressure. She was burning out. One day, she read Meditations and decided to change one thing. Every morning, she'd sit in stillness for 15 minutes. No phone, no noise. Just breath and thought. At first, it felt like wasted time, but within weeks, she stopped overreacting to small problems. She made bolder, clearer decisions. Her team noticed a calmer, more grounded presence. She started sleeping better and thinking deeper. Stillness didn't slow her down. It sharpened her edge, because when your mind is calm, your power becomes surgical. How to build your own inner fortress. Let's make this practical. If you want to develop the Stoic power of stillness, here are 5 daily tools you can begin now. 1. Morning silence. 10 to 15 minutes. Start your day without input. No phone, no news, no noise. Just sit, breathe, observe your thoughts. Let them come and go without clinging. This is not meditation for performance. It's presence, a reset, a clean slate. 2. The pause before the reaction. Something anxious you, disappoints you, triggers you. Don't respond immediately. Pause, inhale, ask, what would the wise version of me do? That moment of stillness is where your real power lives. 3. A stillness walk. No phone, no destination. Go for a walk. Not to get anywhere, but to return to yourself. No music, no podcast. Just nature, movement, breath. You'll be surprised how many solutions show up in silence. UNFORCED. 4. Write to clarify. Thought. Marcus Aurelius didn't write Meditations for anyone else. He wrote it to still his mind, to think through chaos, To self-regulate. You don't need fancy prompts. Just ask, what's swirling in my mind today? And pour it out. 5. Protect the end of your day instead of scrolling till you pass out. Create a quiet shutdown ritual. Dim lights. Sip tea. Reflect. Journal. End your day in command, not in distraction. That's how you build strength while the world sleeps. Stillness is a rebellion against the world's noise. Every time you choose stillness, you're breaking a cycle. A cycle of distraction, a cycle of reactivity, a cycle of emotional slaughter. You're saying, I am not ruled by algorithms, or urgency, or ego. I respond with clarity, not chaos. You become an observer of the world, not a pawn in it. You move slower, but smarter. You speak less, but with more weight. That is Stoic stillness. That is inner wealth. Stillness doesn't make you passive, it makes you precise. The myth is that stillness makes you soft, that calm men are weak, that silence means submission. The truth? Stillness is strategy. It's the archer pulling back before the release, the swordsman pausing to read his opponent, the thinker waiting for the right word, not the first word. In stillness, you're not retreating, you're positioning yourself to strike with clarity. When it counts. The world is loud. You must learn to be quiet. As the chaos grows, the noise will only get louder. The pressure to react will only intensify. But your job, stay rooted, stay centered, stay still, because the man who masters his mind can master anything. And in a burning world, the calm one becomes the light. So here's your lesson for part 4. Stillness is not a luxury, it's a weapon. Sharpen it, wield it, protect it. Because in that quiet space, you hear your true voice. And that voice knows exactly who you are. 5. The art of withstanding anything, turning pain into power. What do you do when life breaks you? Not just bothers you, not just inconveniences you, but truly tests you. Loss, betrayal, failure, death, chaos. The modern mind panics. It numbs out, it blames, it collapses. But the Stoic mind? It alchemizes. Pain becomes fuel. Adversity becomes wisdom. Suffering becomes sovereignty. The Stoics didn't just survive hardship. They transformed it. Let's unpack exactly how, so you can too. Life will hurt, but it can't harm you unless you let it. Epictetus was born into slavery. He was beaten so severely by his master that his leg was crippled for life. And yet, he said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. He didn't curse his misfortune. He didn't play the victim. He didn't ask, why me? Instead, he asked, how can I use this? Because pain itself isn't the enemy. Attachment to comfort is that you were not promised an easy life. You were built for a meaningful one. Pain is a mirror. It shows you what still owns you here. The hard truth. Pain often reveals your hidden addictions. Addicted to validation? The smallest insult cuts deep. Addicted to control? Uncertainty drives you mad. Addicted to comfort? Discomfort feels like death. But when you face your pain, you face your attachments. And when you dissolve those attachments, nothing owns you anymore. Not your fears, not your wounds, not even your past. That is true power. The modern world teaches avoidance. The Stoic teaches endurance. We live in a world of escape. One click and your pain is muted. One drink and your fear disappears. One scroll and your loneliness is replaced by noise. But escape is not healing, it's a delay. And pain, delayed, only grows stronger. The Stoics took the opposite path. They faced their pain, sat with it, learned from it, because they understood this. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Marcus Aurelius, you suffer more in imagination than in reality. So stop running, start reframing pain. From enemy to instructor. Let's say you lose a job, or get dumped, or your plans collapse. You can say, "This is unfair. Why me?" and spiral. Or you can say, "This is revealing who I am when nothing goes my way. This is my moment to become unshakable." Pain becomes a training ground. Failure becomes feedback. Heartbreak becomes humility. Loss becomes perspective. Everything, if viewed through the right lens, can teach you. That lens? It's called Stoicism. The soldier's example. Embracing the hard path. Picture a young Marine in boot camp. He's exhausted, sleep deprived, muscles burning, blisters tearing. Most recruits think, "This is hell. I can't do this." And they quit in their minds before their bodies ever break. But the one who endures? He reframes. He says, "This isn't punishment. It's purification. This isn't breaking me. It's revealing me. This isn't pain. It's power in disguise." And when he emerges, he's not just physically stronger. He's mentally forged, emotionally disciplined, and internally free. That's what Stoicism trains for. Resilience through reframing. 3 Stoic strategies to transmute pain into power. You don't need to be a philosopher or monk. You just need to practice consistently. Here are 3 tools to start with. 1. The view from above, cosmic perspective. When life feels overwhelming, zoom out. Imagine looking at your problem from 10,000 feet up, then 100,000, then from the moon. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year, a decade, to the universe? Most things shrink instantly. This doesn't numb you. It frees you from ego, from drama, from self-pity. 2. Amor fati. Love your fate. Don't just accept hardship. Embrace it. Marcus Aurelius faced plagues, betrayal, wars, and the death of children. Still, he wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." That's amor fati, loving everything life throws at you as fuel. It's not masochism. It's alchemy. Turn every obstacle into an offering. 3. Premeditatio malorum. Premeditation of evils before hardship comes. Rehearse it. Every day, imagine a key plan failing. A loss, a struggle, a death. Not to be morbid, but to harden your mind. So when life hits, you're not shocked. You're ready, and more than that, you're anchored. Emotional fortitude. Feeling without falling. A common misunderstanding. Stoics don't feel nothing. They feel everything. They just don't let emotion run the show. Marcus grieved. Seneca mourned. Epictetus spoke of pain and hardship, but they did it with grace, with discipline, with inner alignment. They allowed emotions to pass through, not define them. Modern life encourages you to collapse or numb. Stoicism teaches you to stand up straighter in the storm. The strongest men are not the loudest. They are the ones who endure. The man who can stay calm when everything's crumbling. The man who can hold grief without rage, pain without blame, failure without shame. That man is dangerous because he cannot be broken. He may bend, but he always returns stronger. This is the Stoic art of endurance, and it's open to you right now. Real strength is the ability to stay centered. No matter what happens, the world will test you. Life will hit you when you least expect it. But the question is never, will I suffer? The question is, what will I do with the suffering? Will you collapse? Or will you convert it? Because the Stoic doesn't just ask, how do I survive this? He asks, how do I use this to become unbreakable? And that, my friend, is the difference between being a victim and being invincible. Your lesson for part 5. Pain is not the enemy. Your story about pain is. Rewrite that story. Reframe the suffering. Reclaim your strength, because once you stop fearing hardship, you start mastering life. 6. The silent war within. Mastering ego, envy, and comparison. The real battle is not out there. Not in your job. Not in your relationships. Not in your bank account. The real war is within you. Every day, quietly, invisibly, you are at war. With your ego, with your envy, with your constant need to compare. And most men, they lose. They let ego inflate them. They let envy poison them. They let comparison steal their peace. But the Stoic? He fights differently. He wins, not by force, but by mastery. Let's break it down. Ego. The most dangerous enemy wears your face. The ego wants to be special. It wants to be admired. It wants to be seen. But the Stoics knew it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Epictetus, the ego blocks growth. It blinds you to your flaws. It demands praise, resents correction, and chokes humility. You think you're building confidence, but really, you're just feeding a beast that will one day devour you. The Stoic kills the ego. With awareness, a Stoic doesn't deny his gifts. He just doesn't cling to them. He's not loud about his wins. He's quiet about his losses. He walks into a room, not thinking, "Am I better than them?" but asking, "What can I learn from them?" True strength? It's not needing to prove anything. It's walking away from applause. It's choosing the hard truth over the easy lie. That's Stoic. That's real. Envy. Poison in the mind. You see another man win. He has the girl, the car, the lifestyle, and something in you whispers, "That should be me." That voice is envy. And it never leads anywhere good, because envy is not admiration. It's resentment. It says, "I don't want to become better. I just want him to lose." And that mindset? It will rot you from the inside out. The Stoic response to envy: admire without desiring. Seneca put it best: no man is crushed by misfortune unless he has first been deceived by prosperity. What he means is this: you envy because you believe what they have will make you happy, but you don't know the price they paid. You don't see the inner chaos beneath the surface. So the Stoic trains himself to admire, not crave. He looks at success and says, "Good for him, but I'm not on his path." Your journey is your own. Comparison is a distraction. Envy is a betrayal of your mission. Social media. The envy engine. Let's be real. You open Instagram or TikTok and it feels like everyone is winning. Perfect bodies, luxury vacations, effortless wealth. You scroll and scroll, and slowly, quietly, you begin to feel less. But remember, you're comparing your backstage to someone else's highlight reel. What you're seeing is a curated illusion, and what you're trading for it: your confidence, your focus, your soul. So unplug. Return to yourself. Nothing is more Stoic than choosing reality over illusion. Comparison. The fastest path to misery. Marcus Aurelius was emperor of Rome. He had absolute power, but he wrote, ambition means tying your well-being to what other people say or do. Sanity means tying it to your own actions. You are not in a race. You are not behind. You are not failing because someone else is succeeding. Comparison is a lie, a trap, a waste. The Stoic replaces it with self-measurement. Am I better than I was yesterday? Did I show up fully today? Did I act with virtue regardless of results? That is the only scoreboard that matters. The man who doesn't compare cannot be controlled. Think about it. If your happiness depends on how you rank, then anyone ahead of you becomes a threat, and anyone behind you becomes a prop for your ego. If you step off the scoreboard altogether, you become untouchable. No one can make you feel inferior. No success can deflate your worth. No failure can define you. You become stable, unshaken, free. That's the Stoic superpower. Inner security. 3 Practices to win the inner war. Let's go from theory to action. If you want to master ego, envy, and comparison, start here. 1. Practice voluntary humility. Once a week, do something that humbles you. Clean a public restroom. Take cold showers. Wear simple clothes. Let someone else take credit on purpose. Why? Because when you choose humility, ego has nothing to feed on. You become immune to status games. 2. Journal the inner dialogue at the end of each day. Ask, where did ego sneak in today? When did I compare myself to others? Did I envy anyone's success, and why? Writing reveals patterns, and once you see them clearly, you can cut them off at the root. Awareness precedes mastery. 3. Create a personal philosophy of success. Write it out, in your own words. What does success mean to you? Not society, not your parents, not your phone. Make it internal. Make it timeless. Example: success is waking up at peace with myself. It's acting with courage, regardless of applause. It's choosing the hard right over the easy wrong. Now, live by that. Every day. That's Stoicism in action. Remember, the man you're competing with is yesterday's you. You don't need to be the richest, or the strongest, or the most followed. You just need to be disciplined enough to beat who you were yesterday. And humble enough to keep learning. Even when you're winning, the silent war within is never truly over. But every time you choose self-mastery over self-indulgence, you win. Final words. The power of internal approval. You know why the Stoics were so calm? Because they didn't seek approval from the world. They sought approval from reason. They didn't live for claps. They lived for clarity. And in doing so, they became unshakable. So stop chasing status. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 20. Look inward. Build silently. Master yourself, and you'll find something the world can never take away: inner peace. Your lesson for part 6. Kill your ego. Starve your envy. Abandon comparison, because the quietest man in the room is often the one who's already won. 7. Let go or be dragged. The final rule for freedom. Some men live their whole lives in chains, never realizing they have the key. They hold on to pain, to betrayal, to the past, to a version of themselves that no longer exists. They carry it everywhere, like armor, like proof, like punishment. But the Stoic knows, the more you let go, the less the world can hurt you. This is the final rule, the deepest one, the one most ignore. Let go or be dragged. Let go of what? Let's go deeper. 1. Let go of the past. It doesn't belong to you anymore. What's done is done. The mistake you made 5 years ago? The person who left you and never looked back? The chance you missed when you were too scared? You relive it every night like a ritual. Like maybe, just maybe, you could rewrite it if you suffer enough. But that's not healing. That's self-torture. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. No man can lose either the past or the future. For how can one be deprived of what he does not possess? Marcus Aurelius: you don't own your past. You only remember it. And memory is a liar. It distorts. It exaggerates. It wounds. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means refusing to let a dead moment ruin a living one. The past cannot be fixed, but you can still move forward. 2. Let go of control. Most things are none of your business. You try to control everything. What people think of you, what happens tomorrow, how the world sees you. But the Stoics had a name for that fantasy: foolishness. Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us, and some are not." What's up to you? Your effort, your attitude, your values. What's not? Other people, outcomes, timing, the past, the weather, the market, the algorithm. So why suffer over what you never controlled to begin with? Let it go, not because it doesn't matter, but because you matter more. 3. Let go of people who no longer walk with you. Not everyone is meant to stay. Some people come into your life to awaken you, not to stay with you. But here's what we do. We beg. We chase. We cling. As if they're leaving means we weren't enough. But it doesn't. Sometimes the most stoic thing you can do is to walk away first. Not because you're bitter, but because you're finally wise. You don't need to slam doors. You just need to stop holding them open for those who stop knocking. Let them go, not with hate, but with grace. That's freedom. 4. Let go of your old identity so you can become who you were meant to be. You've worn the same mask for years. I'm the tough guy. I'm the funny one. I'm the broken one. I'm the guy who always loses. I'm not good enough. And maybe those stories served you once. Maybe they even protected you, but now they trap you. The Stoics didn't believe in fixed identity. They believed in virtue, in transformation. You are not your pain. You are not your past. You are not your performance. You are what you choose to become. So choose better. Let the old version of you die so something greater can rise. 5. Let go of the need to be understood. This one hurts, especially for deep thinkers, especially for men who feel deeply but speak rarely. You want to be seen, to be validated, to have someone say, "I get it. I get you." But the truth is, most people will never understand your path. They haven't lived your pain. They don't carry your questions. They don't see the world through your eyes. And that's okay. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That includes the event of not being understood. The Stoic doesn't chase validation. He chases virtue, even if no one claps, even if no one gets it, even if he walks alone. 6. Let go of the outcome. Show up anyway. We live in a world obsessed with results. How many likes? How much money? Did you win? Did you lose? But Stoicism flips the script. The question is not, did it work out? The question is, did I act with courage, discipline, and wisdom, regardless of the result? This mindset frees you. Now. You write, even if no one reads. You train, even if no one sees. You lead, even if no one follows. You love, even if it ends, because the outcome is not the prize. Character is. Letting go is not weakness, it's mastery. Weak men hold on to rage, to status, to fantasies. They say things like, "She regret leaving me. I'll prove everyone wrong. One day, they'll see I was right." But strong men, they let go. And in doing so, they reclaim their power, because nothing weighs more than what you refuse to release. A Stoic's mind is like water, flexible, still, unburdened. The Stoic adapts. He flows around obstacles. He doesn't resist life. He responds to it. You can't hold on to everything and grow. You can't be full of resentment and become free. So let it all fall away. The fear, the shame, the expectations, the illusion of control. Only then can you rise. 3 practices for letting go. Let's turn this philosophy into practice. 1. Create a let go ritual once a week. Write down, what are you holding onto that no longer serves you? It could be a grudge, a regret, a fear, a person. Write it down, burn the paper, or throw it in running water. It's not magic. It's mental hygiene. 2. Practice negative visualization every morning. Imagine losing something you love. Your home, your career, your loved ones. Why? Because when you rehearse loss, you become stronger at facing it. And strangely, more grateful. Seneca called it premeditatio malorum. It builds emotional muscle. 3. Forgive in silence. You don't have to text them. You don't have to announce it. Just sit quietly and say, I release you. You no longer have power over me. Forgiveness is not approval. It's detachment. It's saying, this no longer belongs in my mind. That's peace. Final words. Walk lightly. Walk free. You were not born to carry the weight of the world. You were born to live it. And the only way to do that, fully, freely, is to let go of everything that isn't yours to hold. Let go of the people who broke you. Let go of the dreams that died. Let go of the version of yourself you're still mourning. Because on the other side of letting go is everything you were meant to become. This is the final Stoic rule. Let go or be dragged. You choose.